What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title of this video, we will be dabbling into some NBA preseason today. The reason for that is there's not a whole lot today that I like to even come close to putting my money on. We have a two-game college football slate, UTEP versus Sam Houston. I'm not going to touch this game. There might be a teaser or something for it, but last time I played anything from UTEP, it struggled. There's one play from Sam Houston I kind of like, but I don't know that I want to play it either. The Delaware versus Jacksonville State game is actually the game that I want to target. So getting 4 player props from this game is tough. I have 2 from this game that I like a lot, and we'll go over those. But in terms of 4 props that I usually give away, it'd be very difficult to do that. So what I decided to do is choose between MLB and then choose between NBA preseason. With NBA on the return next week, I figured this might be a good week to try and dabble into it a little bit. There was a couple of plays on the board I actually liked, so we'll go over those. We are going to pick a winner from our last video to win a free month of VIP before we do anything. So that being said, if this video gets 250 likes, I will select a random comment down below to win a free month of VIP. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Drop a comment. You got to be subscribed to win. We just hit 36,000 subscribers. I'm super thankful. I really do appreciate every single one of you. And let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday's video. So the winner is going to be for M. Seeped. He said, Ryan, real question. What happened with 5 Days UFC? So this is actually a good question. So your boy just kind of got overwhelmed with the videos in terms of the season when I tried to do it. So there's a lot going on. WNBA and MLB were keeping me kind of busy as well as some partnerships I was working with at the time. So yes, the 5 Days only had a couple of videos dropped before I ended up really not posting on that channel anymore. I am strongly considering bringing it back. If that's something you guys want to see, I will. It gets tough when you're giving away, like, for example, I have NBA and NFL coming up. I'll be trying to do videos for both NBA and NFL on the days that there's both. So I'm going to have 2 videos per day. So dropping another video with more picks makes it really, really hard to give value to the Discord as well, rather than just watching the YouTube videos too. So it's one of those you're kind of battling against yourself things, man. I want to do the UFC stuff. I haven't been as into UFC and MMA and stuff the last few months as I usually am, but I am planning on potentially bringing that channel back. So if it's something you guys want to see, just let me know. I know I get a lot of questions about it. I've been kind of dodging it slightly just because I wasn't sure what I want to do, but the comment picker put me under the pressure. So I answered the question the best I can. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with it, but I am strongly considering trying to bring some of those videos back. So MCept or Incept, however you say your name, man, send me a message on Discord. I'll get you added for that free month of VIP. I see you commenting all the time, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. And send me a message for that free month of VIP. If you guys do want to join our Discord, I tried to update the WAP. So right now you got 3 different images. You got our regular VIP image, the Aces Elite, and the Aces Free. I only did this so it's easier to distinguish between the 2, or the 3, I mean. So you got a free Discord. This is for people on WAP who find my page. If you want to join the Discord, there's a link in the description. You can join for free. It's probably going to be easier for you just to click the Discord link. If you want to go through WAP, go right ahead. It doesn't bother me at all. There's not going to be any difference between the 2. So whichever one you guys prefer. But the Discord link is down in the description. If you want to join our VIP, there's 2 options now. There's our regular VIP, which comes with every single pick I post. Then there's the Aces Elite VIP, which is going to be the more expensive version. This doesn't give you more picks. It's just going to give you more of a one-on-one mentorship style with me and Ace. So we're going to do some live streams each week. We'll be doing some like community picks and things like that. There'll be giveaways. We're going to be doing some fantasy basketball with cash prizes, things like that, man. So that is going to be there. And just pick the one that you think suits you best. If you want to go the cheaper route, then the regular VIP is going to be the way to go. So, all right, guys. So before we jump into these picks, I have one more thing I want to say. So if you're in our Discord, you know all about my man Charles. Charles is one of my mods in the Discord. He posts a lot of WNBA, a lot of NBA, and he does pretty much every sport. But WNBA, NBA, and NFL are pretty much his 3 strong suits. NBA right around the corner. Obviously, the new 2K game has been released. My man Charles has a YouTube channel where he actually drops 2K content. So if you guys are a 2K connoisseur, if you just like the game, or if you just like watching the videos, go give my man Charles a subscribe on YouTube. Dude had like 50 to 100K subs on one of his channels. The channel got taken down. I'm not exactly sure all the details on what happened for that, but I do want to give him a huge shout out because he's a huge part of our Discord. We appreciate everything he does, and I figured, he lost his YouTube channel. Let's try to help him build it back up. So if you guys are interested in any type of 2K content, go follow our man Charles. Links down in the description. His channel is called Continuing the Grind. He does a lot of guides, a lot of builds and stuff like that for 2K. So just want to give him a huge shout out. Appreciate you, Charles, and that is down in the description. But let's go ahead and talk about. We'll do our NBA preseason first, since I used an NBA title, and the only reason I used an NBA title on this just to see how it does for preseason, because I've never really posted much preseason videos or many preseason videos for NBA, just because I didn't think they would do well. But kind of wanted to see how it does against kind of like these smaller college football slates, which I don't get a whole lot of views either. So we're gonna talk about preseason first. Obviously, NBA preseason is not going to be on here. If you hit NBA, you're just going to see next Tuesday's games, which we got 2 good games next Tuesday, Houston versus OKC, and then the Warriors versus the Lakers. So 2 really strong games to open the season, which I'm super excited about. But can't pull that up on here. We're just going to talk about the picks, and they're on Prizepicks. So if you're on Prizepicks and you want to bet on NBA preseason, you hit NBAP, stands for preseason. And you can see there's not a whole lot on the board. You got 2 props. You got PRA, then you got points. I put 2 props on PRA, and you guys are going to see what I'm looking at. So the first pick that I wanted to take was our man, Cooper Flagg. So I'm taking Cooper Flagg, plays for Dallas. I'm taking him to go over 22 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, this line is something that he has not hit in preseason yet. I got Cooper Flagg pulled up, and you can scroll down here. This is on NBA.com. You can see his 3 games from this season already. And you can look at his minutes. So week before, not exactly sure what his minutes are going to be at. I'm assuming it's going to be between 20 and 25 minutes. He could end up getting more. He could end up getting less. That's the thing with NBA preseason, is you're taking a risk on this, man. Flagg, last 2 games, played 24 minutes and 21 minutes versus Charlotte and then versus the Jazz. So looking at his last 2 games, his last game versus the Jazz, he put up 11 points. He shot 3 for 13. So 13 field goal attempts. He only made 3 of them. If you look at his rebounds right here and his assists, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, which is 8 RA, plus his 11 points, puts you at 19 PRA, which he chopped this line. Looking at the game before that versus Charlotte, he shot 4 for 8, 50% field goal percentage, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. So 7 RA plus 11 points puts you at 18 PRA. So he had 18 and 19 in his last 2 games. I'm not going to count this one where he only had 4, but he did have 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and then 10 points, which is 19 PRA again with only 14 minutes versus OKC, which is a strong defensive team. Now, they're playing versus the Lakers tonight. This is going to be a good game, man. Dallas versus the Lakers, usually one of those games that are very good for props. Both teams have mediocre defenses in terms of stats allowed. They give up a lot of points, give up a lot of rebounds, give up a decent amount of assists. And with no Bron, I could see this game being a pretty fast-paced, good prop game. So it's hard to put that into words, but a good game for props. So Cooper Flagg, I like in this situation at 22 PRA. I'm not going to say that this is a lock by any means. I don't think it's a lock. This, like I said, is going to be very risky on preseason. But I do think Cooper Flagg comes out here and has a good game. I think he's going to be able to have a lot of opportunities versus the Lakers. I think as long as he gets his 24-ish minutes, 20-plus minutes, there's a good chance he covers this line for us or pushes the line, which I'm okay with the push as long as the pair cashes. So I'm going to take a chance with Cooper Flagg on this one just because of the matchup on this, and I think he does feast tonight versus the Lakers. So Cooper Flagg, 22 points, rebounds, and assists, is going to be pick number 1 for this video. And then who did I end up pairing Cooper Flagg with? I ended up taking him, and you guys are going to a lot of people probably won't like this, but I'm taking Brandon Miller. So let's look at Brandon Miller at 18 PRA. It's not a super high line. This is another game that I like, is Charlotte versus the Grizzlies, so another decently fast-paced game. Neither team plays a whole lot of defense. They give up a decent amount of stats. And when I say not play a whole lot of defense, I mean they give up a lot of stats. We'll go by that. But if you look at the other 2 games, you got Clippers versus the Kings, and then Celtics versus the Raptors. So Celtics-Raptors, both teams pretty strong in terms of not allowing stats. So I don't like these types of matchups. Same thing for Clippers versus Kings. Kings give up a decent amount of stats, but the Clippers do not. So if you wanted to take somebody from the Clippers, you could. Looks like Kawhi Leonard might be the only one on here. I'm not saying that's a bad play. That could be something you could target. I just liked these 2 games better. So I ended up going with Brandon Miller and Cooper Flagg. Pulling up Brandon Miller so far this season. He's played 3 games, obviously, and then he has 23 minutes in his last 2 games and 16 minutes in the opening game. So let's see how he scored. He had 15 points in his last game, 5 assists and 2 rebounds, which puts him at 22 PRA. The game before that, he had 14 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, puts him at 18 PRA. So he pushed the line on this one, cashed the line on this one. The first game of the season, he had 16 minutes. He had 8 points, 0 rebounds, 1 assist, only 9 PRA. He shot 3 for 10, but he shot 10 field goal attempts. So you give him 10 shots. I'm pretty sure Brandon Miller can give us 18 PRA. So I'm going to hope that he gets us around 20, 23 minutes again. Hopefully he gets around the same that he's been playing, and I'm going to lock in these two. This will be a 3X on Prizepicks. If you put $150, which is I play 100 to 150 on majority of slips. This will give you a $450 win. Now, I'm going to try to play this on parlay play. NBA, do they even have NBA preseason? I haven't even attempted to play it, so I don't know. Maybe not. I'm going to hit NBA and just see. So Memphis, Charlotte. So it's on here. Okay, cool. This is just going to be, they don't have it separate from regular NBA. So we're going to go with Brandon Miller. Does say at 7:10 p.m., right? His PRA. They have way more lines, it looks like, but they don't have PRA. They have 2 3-pointers made, 14.5 points. What else do we have here? Let's see if they have to have our man. They have a lot, dude. They have a lot. Does Prizepicks have the same for points? Parlay play might be the GOAT right now for NBA preseason in terms of props. I don't know what Underdog has. I have not tried to bet on preseason, I promise. PRA, you can get flag at 23.5. That's a tough line to take. So it's 22 on Prizepicks. Let's put 19.5 for Cooper Flag and then see what we can get for Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller points might be, or we can take a look at some of these other players on parlay play since they're available. You got Brandon Miller, 14.5 points is a lot. 10 points is not a lot. His last 3 games, he pretty much crushed that line except for game 1 where he shot 3 for 10. So 10 points isn't a lot for Brandon Miller on that. His 13.5 on Prizepicks. I know this is a little bit sloppy, but I didn't expect parlay play to have, usually parlay play copies and pastes from Prizepicks. So I was caught off guard when they didn't, when they have a lot of different props. 14.5 points is the best we can get, though. You can get 12 points right here instead of 1.6x. I don't like that. See, I don't like that. Other options we have, I don't want to touch the Boston game. Maybe Sabonis. What's his PRA at? They don't have PRA. Okay, cool. Who else were we talking about? Kawhi Leonard. They don't have PRA for him as well. Kawhi at 15 points is probably a lot. Could try Kawhi. I might just fade what they have on parlay play. I don't really like this as much as the PRA lines. I really don't. Put Bronny James in there for 20 points. That'll be a good one. That's a troll, by the way. All right, so that's what we're going to run with. I'm just going to run these on Prizepicks. I'm not going to be a lock in a slip live unless I find a match for Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag at 19.5 I actually like a lot, so I'm surprised they even have value like this on parlay play. But maybe we can find a college football play. There was one, like I said, there's one play from this game that I like. I'll run it with Cooper Flag. So it's going to be from Sam Houston. It's going to be Sam Houston's running back. Let me find that one. Let's see here if they even have him on here. They don't have, it was McCaskill, but they don't have his alt line. I was going to take his alt line rushing yards. I could risk it at 60. We'll see. We'll come back to this. Because I feel like I'm wasting too much time looking at it. But this is going to be the slip number 1 from for NBA preseason that I'm going to lock in. If you guys want to tell it, if you want to fade preseason, I don't blame you at all. But that's what I got. So it's going to be Cooper Flag and Brandon Miller, both over PRA. So that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this one game that I like today. It's going to be Delaware versus Jacksonville State. So if you're looking at this game right now, Jacksonville State is plus 134 underdogs. They're plus 2.5 on the spread. And then if you look at the total in this game, it's sitting at 57.5. So pretty high scoring game. 71% of the money is on Delaware, 63% of the money on Delaware covering the spread. And then you got 59% of the money on the under on the total on this game. Looking at these two teams so far this season, Delaware is sitting 3-2. And then Jacksonville State is sitting, they've played, okay, half of these games are from 2024. So I was about to say, how they played so many games. Anyways, they are sitting, 3-3 on the season, so a 50-50 win percentage. If you look at Delaware, they just lost to Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky bit us in the butt last night, man. We went 3-1 on our player props. The Western Kentucky quarterback chalked his prop, which was a discount, and then he also chalked our money line because Western Kentucky got beat by Florida International. If you look at Delaware, they just beat Florida International 38-16, dominated them, dominated Connecticut the game before that, or 44-41. Wasn't really domination. That was a shootout. But if you look at Jacksonville State just beat Sam Houston State 29-27. They just lost to USM the game before that. They've not really played any good teams either. UCF is a decent team that they lost to 10-17. But other than that, man, both these teams have had some pretty weak opponents. Colorado beat them 31-17 or 31-7. They beat Delaware. This game's kind of coin flip in terms of who I think wins. I think Jacksonville State's running back has a good game, and I think Delaware's quarterback has a good game. So let's look at these two. Let's look at this game in terms of offensive and defensive stats. If you look at Delaware, they're getting 425 yards per offense, yards of offense per game, 145 of those being rushing yards, then 280 being passing yards. So they are slinging the rock. Look on the defense of Jacksonville State, giving up 377 yards per game on defense, 165 being rushing yards, then 211 being passing yards. Going to the other side of things, Jacksonville State's offense gets 421 yards, 280 being rushing yards. The third-ranked offense in terms of rushing yards. They run the ball down the other team's throats. Looking at passing yards, 142 passing yards per game. Looking at Delaware, they give up 155 rushing yards per game and then 240 passing yards. So the passing defense is a little bit worse than the rushing defense, but they don't have a good defense at all. So it's not like that makes too much of a difference in terms of this game. So I didn't play a teaser on this game. If I was going to play a teaser, I'd probably end up playing Jacksonville State like plus 10.5 and then the over 49.5 maybe, or under 65.5. I'm not sure which one I like better on that. I'd have to research it a little bit more in terms of total. But that being said, I do think Jacksonville State does cover a 10.5 spread. I think this game stays very competitive, especially with them at home. So the two props I ended up taking on this game, I ended up taking our man Cam Cook. So I took Cam Cook, the Jacksonville State running back. I took him over 99 rushing yards. Now you can get him at 99 on Underdog. This prop I really like. He's cashed it 4 of 6 games on the season. He's averaging 138.67 rushing yards per game. He just had 218 versus Sam Houston State. Going against Delaware, who gives up 155 rushing yards per game. They run the ball 66% of the time. Cam Cook is their number one RB. He gets 49% of the run share. Dude is averaging, 24 rush attempts per game this season. He's got 20 touches or more in pretty much every single game. He just had 31 versus Sam Houston State. Like, the dude gets a lot of carries, and the dude's a beast, man. He is hard to stop. I don't think Delaware is going to be able to stop this run game. 99 rushing yards is very, very low. I ended up playing it on Underdog. I'm going to show you guys the slip I locked in. It's a double up, 50 to win 100. You could play it on a little boost play if you want, or you guys can play this with original lines on parlay play. So I'm taking a look, or not parlay play, but on Prizepicks. So taking a look at college football, we can come over here to rush yards. You can see Cam Cook's 124.5. Do I think that's a bad line? It's a high line. Do I hate it? No. Do I think he could possibly cash this? Yes. This is one of those coin flip lines. You can run the over or under on this, and I wouldn't be mad at you on either of those plays, because I think that this one is extremely coin flip. Cam Cook probably gets for 100. Extra 25 is going to be tough. That being said, that's why I ran it on Underdog. I don't think that you can get Cam Cook for a discounted line on parlay play. We can check real quick. Cam Cook, yeah, you get a rushing and receiving TD, but he gets a touchdown, I think, but who knows, man? Who really knows? I think that's a good line, but I'd prefer to take the rush yards at 99. So Underdog has better value right now. We ended up pairing him with Nick Minicucci, who is a quarterback for Delaware. He at 224.5 passing yards. So let's go and pull this up too. Nick Minicucci, let's see. Delaware quarterback, 260 passing yards is his original line. We bought it at 225 to make a double up. You can play him over anything higher than that if you want. Like I said, if I pick a play, majority of the time I don't dislike their original line. I just like playing it a little bit safer. So Minicucci is averaging 276 passing yards per game right now. He just had 314 versus Western Kentucky. He's going against a team that gives up 211.5 passing yards per game right now. They throw the ball 57% of the time. They run the ball, obviously, 43% of the time. He's decent quarterback. He hasn't had some good games this season so far against some weaker teams. Jacksonville State, I don't think, has a good enough defense to be able to stop the pass game. I don't think. And I could see Delaware getting behind and needing to air the ball out. Like I said, I think this game's going to be very, very competitive. So this game could go either way. It's pretty hard to call in terms of money lines, in my opinion. But I think Nick Minicucci throws for 225. I think that line's pretty dang low. If you take his original line on Prizepicks, you got him at 260. This is going to be a 3X if you wanted to play it that way. I don't like this slip nearly as much as I like this one, like not even close. I don't think they have Minicucci. I'm sure they do have his passing yards. What am I talking about? They don't. That's crazy, man. So parlay play has absolutely nothing right now for college football, which makes this really tough. We can maybe take Cooper Flag. We got to make a slip on parlay play. I got to lock in something live. This gives us a 1.5x. And what was our other slip? What was our other play that we had earlier that was discounted? Was it Miller for 10 points, I think is what we were looking at, potentially. I mean, we could take freaking LaMelo for 10 points, too, or Miles Bridges. Either one, it wouldn't be a bad play. Brandon Miller, this gives us a 1.95x. So that's not a bad play. I do have a boost, a promo entry. So one thing about parlay play, guys, they've been giving me a crap ton of free plays. $10 here, $5 there, $10 there. So if you guys want to sign up for parlay play, use code Fantasy Aces. You do get a free month of our VIP. Just throwing it out there. And it's one of my favorite platforms. That's why you guys see me posting plays on it. And I keep a pretty high bankroll in there. But I just locked that in just to get rid of the free play. That way I can actually put a unit on it because $10 is not my regular unit size. So let's take Cam Cook, TD. We're going to take Flag for PRA, 20. And then we're going to take potentially Miller for 10 points. It still gives us that 1.95x. What do we have for Sabonis on here? Did we already look at Sabonis? I believe we did. 6 rebounds for Sabonis, probably not bad either, to be honest with you. It's just not a good payout. And the other one was Kawhi. So Kawhi Leonard for 12 points wouldn't be bad either. But I'm going to run with Brandon Miller just because I like his PRA, and I like to lock this slip in. So I'm going to put 250 on this. It's going to win, not 2,500. 250 to win us 487. We're going to lock it in right now. Track picks. And you guys can see what we got here. So it's going to be Cam Cook for a rush receiving TD, Brandon Miller for 10 points, and then Cooper Flag for 20 PRA. I like that play. I like the slip that I had over here on Prizepicks better, to be honest, for the payout difference. But either one is good to play, in my opinion. I do think that we have a good shot of them cashing. Like I said, NBA preseason is very difficult to call, guys. The minutes is going to be the biggest issue. So we got that slip that on Prizepicks you can run that I showed you, which was this. We can go preseason. It was Brandon Miller and then Cooper Flag, so we can lock this slip in. You also have the underdog slip right here, Cam Cook, and then Minakuchi, and then you can also play this on parlay play. So I'm giving you guys 3 options here for whatever you want to do. Let's put these all together so you can kind of go between Brandon Miller and Flag, Cook, Miller, Flag, Cook, Minakuchi. So you can play these any way you want. Parlay play might have better value later tonight. I'm not sure. You might be able to eventually get this exact slip on Prizepicks and parlay play if you want to wait it out. But I do think this is a good slip as well and kind of mix them together. But that's what I got for today, guys. I know this video is a little bit sloppy, I guess, inconsistent. Like it's kind of all over the place. But it's hard to bet on some of these days. Some of these days where you have like preseason and then crappy games, it's hard to find value. So I'm just trying to work with what I got. But anyways, hope you guys have an awesome day. Hope you guys cash every single slip. And I'll see y'all in tonight's video when I post early NFL.